Hey guys, this is Jess Salgueiro, and my motto is if you're going to geek out, geek hard. Thanks for listening.
This video is brought to you by Craven's Comic Books and Collectibles. Check out their weekly live show, auction, and sale at facebook.com/Craven's Comics every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And you can check out their inventory at cravenscomics.com. Craven's Comics, for the comics you crave. Welcome to the program, Jess Salgueiro.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Well, happy to have you on. I was just naming off all the different shows you've been on. Now, when it comes to like meeting people on the street, which of course is a rarity these days, but when you do run into people on the street, what is the show that people most bring up to you?
Good question. And it is definitely Working Moms, without a doubt.
Yeah. I've got a lot of friends who are like, oh, you got Mean Nanny on the show this week? I'm like, yes, I do.
It's funny. It kind of depends where I am in the world. For the most part, it's definitely Mean Nanny, but more so in the States, I get recognized from Letterkenny. And I never get recognized here, rarely. It's so weird because it feels like such a Canadian show.
Yeah.
Maybe Canadians are just more shy about like going up to people, but in the States, Letterkenny, I get recognized from Letterkenny all the time.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, we've had Kelly McCormick on the show a bunch of times, and she says that she gets recognized in the States for that a lot too. But they're usually yelling like, hey, whore, and things like that.
It's like a certain kind of fan, I'd say. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, of course, now you're on Jupiter's Legacy. You pop up in a couple of episodes as Jacinda, who's also known as Shockwave in the comics. Yeah, you got a pretty cool little crew you're hanging with in that show.
Yeah, we sure do. I love, yeah, we had a blast working together. It was so fun. And I think, we didn't really know what we were making together. Like we knew we'd read the books, but there was just this magic that kind of happened when we all started working together where we were like, oh my gosh, like this feels like a crew. Like we have like a Spotify playlist with all our songs. Like we got really tight. And yeah, it was a blast to work on. Truly.
Well, that's awesome because as I was watching the show and your character has a run-in with Chloe at one point, and then I was like, I was sitting there and just like fingers crossed, and then everything worked out in the end because I was like, the way that scene ends, I was like, this is not good. This is not good.
Yeah. No, I luckily, I mean, knock on wood, have not died yet.
Yeah, no, especially since
I die on a lot of shows.
But. Yeah, especially like thinking about the last prominent comic book show you were on. It's like you were eviscerated in like 30 seconds of coming on screen. It was like you have scenes in this one.
I know. I'm not just like a ghost in the background. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, no, definitely. Now, was it with the show of the scale? You mentioned that you've read you got to read the source material. If this show continues, are you excited to see where you and your crew might end up?
Oh yeah, big time. That's I mean, it's interesting, right? Because I think Hutch and Chloe, they definitely become kind of the lead characters, at least in the comic book.
Yeah.
So I think it's really going to be cool to see that power shift. Assuming they go by what they would do in the comics, which I would imagine they would, considering it's a great storyline. So yeah, hopefully, Hutch brings his whole crew and we get to do it again.
Yeah, no, that would be pretty good.
Now I know that you guys got to film it in 2019, so you got to do you were completed filming pre-pandemic,
Yes.
So going back to like when you look at a show like this, do you foresee a lot of, pandemic rules and regulations around the next season? That may or may not happen. We don't have confirmations, only for the first day. It's, people,
it's too early.
Yeah.
Good question. Honestly, yeah, like it'll be tough to have any kind of scenes with a lot of background, scenes with a lot of stunt doubles, and a show of this scale. I mean, it kind of requires some of that. So I would imagine that by the time a season 2 could hypothetically come around, that some of the restrictions will be different. I'm also filming a comic book show right now during the pandemic, in Toronto. And what's ironic is that it's about a pandemic. So we've encountered issues for sure, like just in terms of like, there's the numbers change of how many background actors we can have. Like that can change, week to week, it feels like sometimes. But we've managed, but the show I'm on isn't a superhero show.
No.
So the scale is just different.
Right.
But yeah, that has been a whole experience filming during a pandemic. Now work, I look forward to going to set because it's like, it's my social time,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I can talk to someone besides my roommate and my dog. And also because we're filming I can tell you, I mean, it's a comic book called Why the Last Man.
Yeah, we kind of figured that's the one that you were talking about.
Yeah.
The one question I have is, have you seen the monkey on set?
No, I haven't seen the monkey.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how much I can say about the monkey.
Okay, that's fine. As long as the monkey is okay. That's all. During this pandemic,
no monkeys have been harmed.
Okay.
No monkeys have been harmed.
Good.
You were talking about your social life. It just made me think I was having a conversation the other day where somebody asked me, is like, we're talking about vacations. And I was like, yeah, I go on vacation, a couple times a week. I go to the Petro-Canada. I go to the Sobeys. I go to the Loblaws.
Totally.
Oh man, you've been to the Loblaws? How is it this time of year?
It's a little warmer than expected, but it's got nice breezes and, all the people there, for the 3 or 4 that are there, it's great to see them.
I always holiday at Metro. I do my sunning times at Metro. That's where I go.
Oh, wow. I don't know which one's more bougie.
Oh man. We got an email in from Jane D who writes, "Hello tonight, geeks." Hello. I am an Italian Portuguese fan of Jess's. I was wondering if Jess, also being Portuguese descent, speaks Portuguese.
Oh my gosh, so sweet. Hi. Yes, I'm not perfectly, but I do speak. Actually, during the pandemic, I've been taking like private Portuguese classes. That's part of what I've been doing with my time. I'm like, okay, let's learn some grammar. And that's been really awesome. And I'm excited to just continue, getting more and more confident with that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
They speak some Portuguese on the show, which is so awesome and like so unheard of. When I saw that in the audition like breakdown, I was like, Portuguese in a huge American show? Like that's like never. I think like I might be the only other person that's ever spoken Portuguese on an American show, or well, it wasn't really, it was BBC America on Orphan Black. My character spoke Portuguese. But yeah, so that was really cool.
That's cool.
Thanks for the question.
Oh my gosh. With the with Jupiter's Legacy, you mentioned before about, the possibility of having less people on set and stuff like that for future seasons. Is there a possibility that you will have to just to learn how to do your powers in real life so there won't be as many crew members on set? Have you been practicing repelling things?
I sure have. Oh, I sure have. I really have.
That, like, honestly, it's the best power right now in this world, you know, just to be able to go, no, stand, because some people just don't want to listen to you, you know, like
Totally.
just keep
Breaking energy.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Oh.
So I really would rather have Hutch's situation where he doesn't have a power, but he can just like teleport places.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I got to admit,
really
like
cool.
somebody who doesn't like to drive, and I spend an hour each way in the car every day, or not every day I go into work. That would be just be able just to go work. I just be there. Perfect. Or bed, and then you're in bed.
There you go. Oddly enough, though, Green does spend an hour a day in the car every weekend as well. I don't know why he just sits there, but
I just like the feel. You know,
you like the quiet. That's what it is. You like the quiet.
Yeah, it's my home away from home, and
you know
what? I gotta live through the pandemic somehow.
Yeah.
Yo, I've seen people. So I live kind of near the lake shore, and I've been going roller skating down there. I bought these like disco roller skates that light up, and
that's awesome.
Go down there and attempt to be a like cool disco chick. Anyway, but I'm in the parking lot usually skating back and forth, and I see tons of people just by themselves sitting in their car, and I don't know if they're like, you know, sneaking out to smoke weed or like something, but it's like I've just noticed, and I've noticed the same people, and they just go and hang out by themselves and might read the paper, just sit in their cars, and I'm like, you know, whatever floats your boat right now, whatever.
Yeah, whatever works, definitely. Oh my God.
It's so true.
We got an email in from John T, who writes, "Hi, I am a hairdresser and a big fan of Jess's. My question, I just love her hair, the curls, the waves. Is it natural or a perm?"
Aw, John. It's natural. It is au natural. The blonde is not au natural, but the curls definitely are.
Very cool.
Thank you.
It's almost like your signature. Every time I see you on screen, I'm like, I instantly I'm like, oh yeah, there she is. Because the hair, like it's so like, you know,
recognizable.
Yeah, because a lot of people either have their weird straight hair and all that stuff.
Their weird straight hair.
Yeah, well, those weirdos with the straight hair. Like, what are you gonna do?
It's funny. The one show I never get recognized from is The Expanse. I was on The Expanse.
Right.
And it's because they straightened my hair and they like tied it back in this braid. And I realized, like, after, I was thinking about it recently. I was also talking to one of the directors from the show recently, and they're like, yeah, it's weird. Like, nobody knows it's you. And I was like, this is my thing. This is my signature, I guess. But apparently, so I had to straighten my hair on that show because I was doing The Boys, which was also an Amazon show.
Yeah. And
Amazon wanted me to look different. So
really?
Yeah, it was an interesting choice. They're like, you can use her, but she can't look like she does in The Boys. And so
wow.
Okay.
They got strict rules over there at Amazon. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh my God. Well, let's switch things up here a bit. Yeah. We want to talk about the real important hard-hitting questions, and that is,
let's go.
You and another particular actor who's a friend of yours happen to have an amazing chemistry on camera as bitter rivals. And that is Kelly McCormack. You guys have been
fuck you, Batman.
Yeah. That's right. You're rival hockey players. You've been rival curling players on Carter. When Kelly made Sugar Daddy, you were cast as the person that ruined her birthday party.
It's a great way to describe it.
Christian Brune has stated that he would love to see you guys fight it out in every sport. And Kelly herself has said, and I love the way she said it, she's like, I'm doing a little baseball show right now. I'd love to see if she'd come down to the US. I'm like, a league of their own, a little baseball show. Okay. She's like,
no.
She's like, I'd love to have her come down and fight me there. So,
oh my God, dream. That would be a dream. I don't know am I frozen right now?
No, you're not frozen.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I'm not
can hear
frozen.
you.
Okay, you froze for a second for me.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what crazy cosmic thing has allowed Kelly and I to play these roles together, but it's so funny. So, yes, we did Letterkenny together, and when Carter came around to play rival curlers, they had never even seen us on Letterkenny. It wasn't like let's hire the two girls from Letterkenny. It was like I can't even remember how it happened. I think maybe she contacted me or I contacted her, and I was like, wait, are you on this episode of Carter too? And she's like, yeah, I think I play like your enemy. And I was like, we were like, what? And we told the producers, we're like, you obviously cast us because you saw us working together. And they're like, no, we had no idea. It was so bizarre. It was so bizarre.
That is crazy. But yeah, I would love to see you guys at it more often. What you do is we got to get her on to Jupiter's Legacy as, another rival supervillain. So then you got a supervillain fight. And we got to get you into
League of Their Own.
hockey. We got to get the baseball. We've got the hockey. We got the curling, soccer. We got to get you.
There we go.
Ended
like Beckham 3.
That's right.
Also, it's so funny because I'm not really like an athlete, but I'm down to do all of this.
Athlete, schmathlete, that's okay. It's acting. There you go.
I just like this idea of you guys being bitter rivals and fighting all the time, arguing all the time in sports that do not require a lot of physical interactions. Like a combat sport, because like when you think about like hockey, yes, there's some actual on ice fighting, but like you get the combat sports. I think never do those. You guys have to do it like like rival chess players that beat each other up in the middle of a
ping pong.
Yeah. Oh, ping pong would be badminton.
Yes,
totally.
There we go. This is good.
Totally.
We just got to put together like a sports ensemble movie.
So if anyone out there wants to write something for us, we'll do it.
That's awesome. Oh man, that's really good. I like that.
That's how you know when you're really talking to an actor. If you have anything, I will do it.
I know. I'll do it for free.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Now, of course, also another series that came out over the past year that you were in was Tiny Pretty Things.
Mm-hmm.
Isabel the cop, and man, she had such a rough go trying to solve a murder that wasn't a murder because it was a coma. Like that in itself is tough,
True. I've never heard it put quite like that, but yeah, true. Yeah, she had a hard go of it for sure. She was a dark character for sure. I was filming that at the exact same time as Jupiter's Legacy, actually.
Wow.
Which was a nice little it was a nice switch up of things,
I was gonna say, like going from superheroes and supervillains over to,
like a dance.
Yeah. Which, from what I understand, is super cutthroat, and you don't want to mess with anybody.
That's
true. I'd actually say that the Tiny Pretty Things was a much scarier show.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Man, like, the pressure on those dancers. Come on.
Yeah, no, definitely. Oh my gosh. No, that's some crazy stuff.
I don't need that. Nobody needs that. You don't need that. He doesn't need it. I don't need it. People listening don't need it. But watch it. It's really good.
Yeah. It's a nice COVID distraction and binge. You know what I mean? It's like candy.
Yeah.
Like candy.
Definitely. Oh man. Yeah. No, that's crazy jumping back and forth between those two shows. One day you're sitting there crying, drinking. The next day your friends coming in as you're making different sounds. That's
true. True. Yeah. I mean, that's like truly though, those are my favorite times of work when I have a couple things going at the same time. I love how each can kind of play on the other. Like it's this weird thing, but it fuels me. Like I need some comedy to like be able to go to the dark places. And sometimes I need the dark places to ground the comedy. And so for me, I thrive when I get to do different genres at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I like, honestly, it's always a thing. It's one of those things I marvel about actors, you know, is being able to like flip back and forth, you know, like the skills that are required to just, I'm going to be like a crazed psycho person over here. I'm going to be like, you know, a really nice person hanging out. We're going to have some laughs, you know, I'm going to be a crazy nanny, you know, like whatever these things are, you know, like it must, like on your day-to-day life, when you think about it, it must be kind of like just refreshing to be able to just be like, no day is the same.
Exactly. That's the best part about it. That it truly, yeah. And I think it's funny because as an actor, you know, there's always like this goal of like, well, I just want that big part, and I just play that part for the next 7 years of my life. But I think sometimes when you get to that place, not that I've been there, but when you get to that place, I think sometimes you miss all the variety of all the like recurring roles and the smaller supporting parts, but that you can like float between all of them. It's definitely like for me in my career, like I'm so grateful that my career has grown the way it has, that it wasn't just like, oh, I got a big part really early. In this way, it's like I've had so much experience in all these different genres and with all these different teams and these different kinds of scripts and, you know, different scales, that now it feels like I'm comfortable-ish in a lot of them, not like oh my God, I've only done this thing for 7 years. I don't know how to do that thing. So,
Right. Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, it's been cool.
That is cool. It's very cool. Another thing that's very cool is a magic van. And just want to ask you, if you were going to go on a road trip in a magic van, where would you go?
Oh my God.
Specifically that magic van from Jupiter's Legacy.
Yeah. Wow. I'm like literally like the whole world opened up to me now that it's, you know, a magic van. I feel like I'd take it through South America because it'd be like, I would love to road trip through South America, but also like through like, you know, big cities in South America that like, you know, maybe have a lot of traffic or like, you know, smaller streets and the favelas and stuff. And you could just like drive through things and like, you know, no problem. Yeah, I think I'd do that.
Yeah, that's good. Traffic would not be a problem there. Definitely. That's a good call. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's everyone who lives in Toronto's dream to have a magic van.
Yes, definitely.
Anybody who's ever on the 401 goes, I want that van. I want that van.
Especially if they're out east where it bottlenecks. There you go. Oh, well, Jess, I want to thank you for coming on the program. It's been a delight talking to you. I look forward to more people checking out Jupiter's Legacy, but I also look forward to Y the Last Man when it comes out. We'll have to have you on then.
Yes.
So that we can speak freely about the monkey then.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. All righty. Have yourself a great night.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jess.